Hi, everybody. Hi, Carrie.
Hey there. So
Hope
excited for our discussion today.
well, yes and no. So, as we enter August, I have some disappointing news for a lot of us here, especially in Florida. School's just around the corner. I know some of us are excited, some of us might not be, but this summer feels like it flew by.
Yes, it certainly did. Certainly did. But I feel like all summers fly by because we just anticipate, right? Like ending the year, the school year, and summer's like a breath of fresh air. And then, like, it's quickly coming to an end. So,
Yes.
Jessica and I today are going to help or talk about the transition from summer to school and what you could do as parents to help move that along.
So, I remember as a kid, first of all, as a kid, the summers seemed to last forever, and then the older you got, the shorter the summer seemed, or the faster it seemed to have gone by. But with every start of school, I feel like it's always a new beginning. You get a fresh start. You can try things you might not have tried before. It's always that I loved the writing in your first notebook for that first time, like the feeling of that freshness, of the newness. So, with
Or like
that,
your new fresh agenda,
yes,
right?
there's it's
Like,
just blank and the whole it's the everything's laid out before you. It's ready to start. And with that, our suggestions today revolve around routines and how to set yourself and your families up for success.
okay, so let's talk about the importance of routines. Like, why do we as families and or parents or business people, right? Working people have routines. Like, why are they important? They're important for a lot of different reasons. They create healthy habits,
Yes.
they help create confidence and independence, and they also allow us to share like expectations and plan for what will be happening in the near future. So it's really important as parents with your children so they learn to know what to expect. And go ahead, you were going to say something.
No, I'm just thinking about that chaos, that morning chaos. I believe for many families, definitely for my family, the morning was always the most chaotic, waking everybody up, getting everybody, making sure everybody had what they needed, getting everybody off to school at just there's so many different things happening at the same time that having a routine in place, the goal of that routine is to alleviate that chaotic feeling.
Correct. And I think if you have an established morning routine, when you wake up and the kids wake up, you're starting a new day with a level of like low
Sanity?
stress, low stress, like it should be calm,
Right.
right? Because everybody, this is the important thing, right? So the morning routine. Every family is going to come up with what works best for them, how many kids they have, if they have two working parents,
Sure.
right? So you're going to establish your routine that works for your family. But it's important now as you're transitioning from summer to school to discuss it, right? Let's look at mom and dad are both working this year, or one parent's working, the other's staying home. The kids might be at two different schools, the same school, three. So all of that needs to be discussed. And it's really important to discuss it as a family, right? So you could get everybody's input and then establish what the routine's going to look like and who's going to be doing what. So the kids
Right.
will need to know in advance what their responsibilities are versus what the parents' responsibilities are.
And that family communication is key. And what always helped me, the biggest suggestion that I have is to post it, whatever it is, if it's your morning routine, your evening routine. But if everyone knows what's coming, it makes the transitions that much smoother.
Yeah. And I think as parents, sometimes we think like, oh my God, like the kids, I'm going to have such a hard time waking them up. How they don't want to make their lunch or pack their bag or make their bed, whatever you've established. But it's the opposite. If you actually give them an independent responsibility and role, that is building a level of confidence in them that they are responsible for something. And
Sure.
you're not taking it away and doing it for them because you think you could do it better. One thing
And
I
then
want
you
to
end
talk.
up being resentful because here
Right.
you are doing everything. So
Exactly.
if you give them the opportunity, if you're empowering your child to be an active member of your family, the outcomes from that will hopefully lead them into a greater sense of independence for what they're able to do on their own.
Right. And I remember with the whole like picking out clothing to wear to school, right? We tried to do that the nighttime before, but in the end, who cares what your kids wear to school, right? If they're dressed in clothes, they've picked it out, right? Like that's giving them a level of confidence that they chose, they got themselves dressed, and out they go. But I'll say I was the first one to be like, you're wearing that to school, right? Like, I wish I could take that back and do it all over again because why the hell did I care?
It's
Right?
true.
Why did I care? I mean, I could dress myself. My kids should be able to dress themselves. Or why was I involved in that? Right? Like,
Right.
go to your room, pick out your clothes, get dressed. Anyway, so, all right,
Absolutely.
morning routine. So, communicating the morning routine,
So,
super important.
yeah. So, what Carrie said was so important. I think I just want to reiterate it, the discussing this together. So, our suggestion to you is a family meeting, whether it's dinner the night before or, hey, let's all come together. We have to have a conversation about the upcoming year, what this is going to look like. And you have your list of things that need to be done every morning and go through them. Figure out who's doing what, who's taking the kids to school which day, are they going on the bus, who's packing their backpacks, their lunch. You know what your morning routine consists of. Have that list ready for your family discussion and tick it off. Who's doing what and how is that going to look for your family?
Right. And allow them to handle their responsibilities without the nagging and the reminding. And I'm saying this only from a place of I was the ultimate nagger, right? I reminded, remember this, don't forget that. No, just it's their responsibility. You gave it to them, let them do it. And you know what? If they forgot their backpack at school, they will need to deal with the consequences. Or if they forgot to grab the lunch and put it in the backpack, they have to make the mistakes and forget to remember the next time and do it. So
Yes.
again, I would go back and change that in my family because we did have the routine, but then I reminded everybody of what the routine was.
Right. Did you have it in a place where they could see what the routine was and what was coming?
No, no, it wasn't a posted routine. We would just talk about it until we got to the point where I think I've talked about it in a previous episode where on the door that
Oh,
led
yes.
out to the garage was a
Your
list of
checklist.
the checklist of reminders, but
Mhm.
um, that was much later on. I don't think I ended up doing that till middle school or high school, but early on, yes, I would have gone back and posted what their routine was, whose responsibility was what, and then kept my mouth closed every morning and just did my part, let them do their part. And when it was time to leave the house, say, okay, let's go. Time to walk
Do
out the door.
one thing that I loved is, messages on the mirror in the morning when they
Yeah.
went into the bathroom. All you do is take a dry erase marker and write on there, "Brush your teeth, make sure your hair looks okay, or put a comb through your hair, wash your face, come downstairs for breakfast." Whatever, whatever you want. Put a silly message on there, but
So I'm laughing because when you said messages on the mirror, I'm thinking like a gratitude message or an inspirational message, not telling them to brush their teeth.
what but so we actually did have a gratitude mirror. We had a "You look beautiful today. Remember, you're so special. You're
Mhm.
strong. You got this." We did have those. We had that
Yeah.
mirror too.
Yeah.
But why not use your mirror as a checklist for things that they have to do?
Or in your family, I only know this from social media, but replace the toilet paper.
that that has to be in every bathroom. Replace the toilet
Toilet
paper roll.
paper. Yes. That's
That's
so
very
funny.
funny.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the nighttime routine because that's a really important one as well, which a good established nighttime routine will also help the morning routine go smoothly. A nighttime routine is so obviously your kids need to learn what are the steps we take before going to bed. So, are they showering at night, bathing at night, brushing their teeth, packing their backpack, making lunches? So,
Yeah.
as soon as you decide your kids are old enough to participate in making lunches, that would be something good to do at night. So, you could do it all together. If both parents work, pack their own, they could be packing their own lunches, kids could be packing theirs. Something you guys could do together as a family or assign it to one person or take turns doing it. But
I think whatever the rule should be, whatever you can get done the night before to make the morning less stressful, less chaotic, do it. Like Carrie said, planning your lunches out. And also, a key here is discussing and communicating with your family what tomorrow's schedule will look like. If your partner has a meeting in the morning, remember, I can't take the kids to school tomorrow. We have to shift, whatever it is. Communicating that the night before. So, listen, we all know surprises happen. There's stuff that we don't plan for that comes up all the time. The more surprises that you can take away, the less chaotic your morning will be.
right. And the nighttime routines are also really important for the parents as well. So once your children are in their rooms, in their beds, right, going to bed, however way you have planned for that to happen, it's a really good time for you and your partner to have time together, right? Talk about
Sure.
what happened that day. Talk about what's coming up tomorrow. Discuss if your roles have to change, if something new or an early meeting or a phone call, and just spend time together, right? Everything doesn't need to always be about the kids or the family. It could just be about you and your partner as well. So, you know, those routines help all of that. And then also, right, adding in, like, what if one of the parents, wants to get up early to exercise, go to the gym, or you're going to do it at night? So you just have to communicate and discuss how it's going to work. Um, I've seen where in a family, one parent just did whatever they wanted to do, right? Like, hey, I'm going out to the gym, like without the
Without a communication
communication
or
of, right, and leaving the other parent to handle the responsibilities of the family. So these things just help the level of stress in your family, try to make it less stressful than it needs to be for everyone.
I think we also have to mention single parent homes
Yes.
or homes where the parents have to leave before the children are even up. I mean, there are all different scenarios out there, all different families. But basically, what Carrie and I are trying to get across to you is having the routines for whatever your family looks like will help lessen the chaos that has the potential to ensue.
Yeah. Yeah. And right, if you wake up in the morning already thinking that the kids aren't going to get up on their own or get up when they're supposed to or handle their responsibility, and you're already coming from a position of, looking at it all negatively, that it's not going to go well, it's probably not going to go well. Right? So you're
Sure.
really this thought of routine, and the idea and the really important part of it is that it's helping everybody's mindset be on the same page, and that, yes, our children can handle independent chores and decisions and things and manage themselves. And getting into like older kids, middle school, high school, they should be getting up on their own. They have
Yes.
alarm clocks, they have cell phones, right? That is something that should eventually evolve into the routine. The parent should not be responsible for going in and waking the kid and going back and waking them up and,
Right.
threatening if you don't get up. So, and you know what? Again, I know it's easier said than done, but if your kid sleeps through their alarm, the kid sleeping through their alarm and being late to school in fifth grade is not as detrimental to them or you as the parent as it is to when they're 25, 32 years old and not being able to get themselves to work,
Right.
right? These habits start at a really young age.
And the whole thing, routines, we hope, are what turn into healthy habits, something that you just do without even thinking about it.
Right. Right. So
You're
that's brings us to a point where we could talk about like what are the outcomes of routines? Like why do we work so hard to try to put these in place for our family? Right?
sure.
Healthy habits. I think it really starts to teach the healthy habits and also the flexibility, right? Every routine every day might not be the same.
I heard something the other day that I really liked. It was actually, I want to say it was Michelle Obama, how she spoke to her girls in the morning and she would tell them every day is practice for when you're an adult.
Mm.
So if you're practicing these healthy habits and routines now, the idea is you're setting your kids up for success as an adult and
Exactly.
giving them and trusting them with knowing that they are a value member, a valued member of your family will hopefully boost their confidence and make them want to do these things.
Yeah. And, as we're transitioning from summer back to school, right? Part of the conversation should be like, well, how did everybody think, the summer routines went versus the school routines? That could be a conversation. Or how did last year's school routine go for everybody? Right? Some like, oh, our routine's perfect. We're just going to do the same thing. And
Right.
others might have been like, it was a complete shit show. Right?
Or
As mom or dad, I was stressed every day. Well,
right.
let's talk about that as a family.
Or maybe your roles shifted from last year to this year. Somebody has a new job or like you said, maybe you've adapted a new workout routine that you want to do keep going. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But out of through all of this, and we all know this about life. You can have all the routines in the world, everything set up, ready to go perfectly, and something unexpected is thrown at you. It's okay. It's okay to be flexible
Mhm.
and change your routine. But if you have the sense of knowing what is supposed to happen and what's coming next, then maybe those
Unplanned.
unforeseen
Yep.
events won't shake you as much, and you'll just be able to roll with whatever is thrown your way.
Yes. Yep. I think that's a perfect ending
So,
to
okay.
our discussion.
All right. So then let's just recap what we'd love to see our listeners try. Sit down with your family, have a conversation, get your routines in place, set yourself up for success for a wonderful school year.
Yeah. And make sure that you're really incorporating everyone in your family in the discussion and the decision making and the planning for what the routines are. If they're part of the discussion, they will be much more
Inclined.
ready and
Mhm.
inclined to want to take on that responsibility because they were part of the discussion and not told just what to do.
I love
So,
it. Well, good luck. Happy planning to our friends who start school very soon.
yeah.
Wishing you all a great start and a happy school year.
And enjoy the rest of your summer.
And let us know how your routines are going for you. If you have
Yeah.
anything you'd like to add,
Right.
always reach out to us.
We'd love to hear some of them and any other suggestions or questions you might have. Take care. Have a good day.
Thanks for listening.